Hi guys, welcome to the channel and welcome to Tenerife. Today we've got a yin yoga session, really relaxing, really slow, great to do in the evening to unwind before you go to bed. It's going to be led by Natalia. We're going to have a great time, we're going to feel amazing after, we're going to be really relaxed, so let's get to it.
Welcome to your yin yoga practice. So as Sean said, it is really nice to do before bedtime. Typically we're going to hold the poses for around 2 minutes. So all you're going to need is yourself, maybe a nice blanket for the end, maybe a pillow as well if you get a little bit uncomfortable. I'm going to take you through my favourite yin poses. So I'd say one of the first poses that we're going to do is probably one of the most beneficial in yoga. It releases all the back body. So we're going to start by taking the legs out nice and straight. Now at home, if you have got a block or if you've got a pillow, it's quite nice to use one. For those of us who just have ourselves, we're going to take our hands down. I don't want any resistance here, so literally we're going to flop the hands down and I want you to drop your head all the way down as far as it'll go and just stop. Now this isn't necessarily something that you're looking to do with force. It's not something that requires any specific strength. The whole point of yin yoga is complete surrender and relaxing. Now making sure that you keep your eyes closed throughout the practice, it's going to ensure that you get the most out of it. So to give you an idea about yin yoga, they say that within yin yoga you need to find 3 tenets. The first of that is to find your edge. So as you can see, when you go into this pose, your body will naturally start resisting. That first little bit of resistance, that first pocket, you stop and you stay. So you might say that it is like the opposite of a yoga flow. A yoga flow requires a lot of strength. It requires your muscles, your posture. But this practice requires nothing. It requires patience and stillness. So we've got about 45 seconds left in this pose. See if the body can fold a little deeper, if the head can become a little heavier. Relaxing everything all the way down. Each exhale will pull you deeper in towards the pose. Creeping the hands just that little bit further towards the feet for the last few seconds. Okay. When you're ready, we're going to slowly start to roll the body up. Keep the chin tucked towards the chest. And I'm going to ask you to start going all the way down to the floor. So just bring the body to lie down. So this is what we call a counter pose. And these little pockets in between the poses really give us a chance to assess what's going on inside the body. I always like to say we let the pose marinate here. So just be for a few moments. Typically your counter pose will last for about 60 seconds. Now from here we'll go straight into our next yin pose. So if you can bring the soles of the feet together to touch and let the knees hang out like a butterfly. Now I'm going to leave the hands as an option. You can either allow them to relax by the sides, you can allow them to rest on the belly, or sometimes it's nice just to let them dangle overhead and open the chest a little bit. So just see what works for you. Now, some of us might notice that the knees start to shake and bounce. I don't want you to hold any resistance. If the knees do shake, let them. What this means is that we're releasing any tenseness in the hips. We're releasing even anything from a bad day to a bad mood. The hips will store all of that as emotions, as feelings. So it's not surprising sometimes that when we come out of a yin yoga class we feel a little bit emotional. You might even be feeling a little bit of emotions rising now in this pose. So just let it be. Be as open and as willing as you can be. We've got just under 1 minute left here. So you'll remember I said that we have 3 main points of yin. The first one is the edge. The second one is patience and stillness. When the body's still, it's allowed to release and open in its own time. So try and resist any urges to fidget or move. Okay. In just a moment, we're going to come out. So if your arms are over your head, slowly bring them back over. I want you to take the hands to the outside edges of the knees and gently and slowly close them together. So you'll feel that's a little bit tight. Allow the knees to fall into each other and just hold for a moment. This is your counter pose. Slowing the breath down. Now when you feel good and ready, bring yourself up to a comfortable seat and we'll go into our next posture. So we are going to work a little bit more into the hips. I think it's a nice introduction to yin yoga and it really allows you to open and explore the different sensations. So we're going to come into what's called pigeon pose. Now you can come into it from an all fours position. We're going to take our left knee to the outside, just behind the left wrist, and then shimmy this right foot back. Now for some of us with the flexibility, the shin might be horizontal to the top of the mat. If that's the case, I want you to flex your foot. If the shin is more diagonal to the top of your mat, I want you to point your foot. That's going to protect the knee. So coming into this pose, just see how it feels. It may be that you want to stay on the hands for today. Maybe we want to start to relax down onto the forearms. Now remember, we're not looking for pain. We're looking for that first little bit of a sensation. So really take it easy. Just release your toes down, Sean. That's it. Now, if and when it feels good, you might want to come all the way down. So the third part of this practice is time. And time's very important because when we do a normal flow, like a vinyasa for example, we flow in and out of the poses quite quickly, and it doesn't give our bodies the chance to fully explore each of the poses, each of the sensations that can happen with yoga. So really feel into your body. Now it is completely normal to get pins and needles and tingly sensations through the legs. What we're doing is we're stopping the flow of energy through the body. So it's normal to feel this way. When we release the pose, the energy floods back through and it gets rid of any blockages. So we've got about 30 seconds to go. So whenever you feel ready, we're going to slowly start to come out of this pose. So first start to push into the hands. And take a moment here. We're then going to keep pushing and release this leg back and all the way out. So it's going to feel really tight. Push the toes into the ground, release the leg. And then take whatever you feel is a good pose. So I'm going to sit back onto my heels. It might be that you want to lie down onto the ground. So just take that little counter pose for a few deep breaths. So we'll take it over to the second side now, the right side. So let's bring it back into tabletop. Taking the right knee behind the right wrist and then shimmy that left foot all the way back. So don't just take for granted that both sides are the same. Sometimes we might have a little less flexibility on one side than the other. Remember what I said about the toes and the direction, so if you're a little bit more diagonal, point, and then see if we can bring it down. So first, just inquire about bringing it down to the forearms, and then maybe you bring it all the way down, resting the full weight of the body. So I'll stay up for this part. So by this point in the practice, we should be feeling very relaxed. The heart rate and the breath will have naturally slowed down. And the more you practice yin, the deeper you go into the inner cages of the mind. If you think about the word yin and yang, the opposites of each other. So we say that yin yoga is quite like exploring the caves within a mountain. It's like climbing up to the peak of the mountain. So they're two very different experiences. Yin is soft and gentle and feminine, like the moon. Yang is very fiery, dominant like the sun. So it's really good to tap into both energies when you practice yoga. Too much of one thing can sometimes not be that great. So it's nice to balance the body, balance the energy. So see, if you are on your forearm, see if you can fold the body completely over for now. And then when you are ready, slowly push into your hands and just stay there for a moment. We're then going to keep on pushing all the way. Release that right leg back, stretch. Invite some life back into your right leg. Okay, and then let's take that counter pose, sitting back onto our heels. We've got one more pose to do before we come into a little bit of relaxing breath work to get you ready for bed. Okay, blinking the eyes open, come to sit. Take the legs as wide as they'll go. Now this one has got to be one of my favourite poses. It just feels so nice on the body, it feels so nice on the lower back. You get the adductors involved as well. So again, if you've got any cushions at home that you want to prop yourself up with, feel free. We're going to take a deep breath in here and then slowly start to fold the body forwards. Now it might be that you're here for now. It's fine. I don't want you to force yourself. Go to that edge. Only to the edge. We'll take 2 minutes here before we come into some breath on the ground. Now this pose is a really good one because the longer you hold it, the closer you get to the ground. It's almost as if the ground has got a gentle pull on your body. And before you know it, the head's a little bit closer. The body is more relaxed, deep into the poses. Keeping the eyes closed gives us an opportunity to go inward. Exploring those caves of the mind. Being soft and gentle. Now each time that tension starts to ease off, see if you can crawl the body a little bit deeper. There's no pressure to do this, but we're just inviting the body in. Okay, amazing everybody. That was our last pose. So slowly start to crawl the hands back. Bend the knees in towards the body slightly. And then bring the legs to cross. I'm going to show you, just for a few seconds, a really relaxing breath that's going to get us ready for bed. So we breathe in for 4 and we breathe out for the count of 8. Close down the eyes, and when you're ready, take a breath in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it in. 2, 3, 4. Exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. As always, you're welcome to carry on this breath after the video has finished, but we're going to bring things to a close. Thank you for practicing with me, and good night.